Hello, welcome back. I know it's been a while. I have been very active on Instagram in case you're not following me. I mean, what are you doing? You should be. And I've not been here so much. I have to admit, I have been a little bit put off by YouTube with the whole new thing about dubbing automatically. So you play my video and you start listening to me in whatever language you have selected. So if you're Brazilian and you're watching this video now, I might be speaking to you in Portuguese, and I hate that because that's exactly the opposite to everything I've been doing here for the past 10 years. So please, if this is happening, it's not my fault. I have already changed the settings, but it doesn't seem to be working. So make sure to click on, I'm going to show you where it is here, to click on this settings button and just turn that off so that you can hear me in English, because that's the whole point of my work. I mean, YouTube, you have to help me. Anyway, here I am, and I'm here today to talk to you about something I love talking about, and you know it. I'm going to talk to you about reading, and the whole point of this video today is to guide you. I want to give you some guidance to be able to read in English a little bit more easily. So we're talking about books specifically, how to choose them and everything. Don't want this video to be too long because I know you're not going to watch until the end, so let's get cracking. You may have heard of this book. This is a classic. It's called Jane Eyre. It's massive, as you can see. It's not for everyone because too long, right? And also, if you're not a fan of classic novels, this is not going to be for you. However, we have people like me who like this kind of book, and they struggle to read this in English because clearly we're talking about something that is very old. So the type of English is different to contemporary English, and it can be extremely challenging. The amount of people that have messaged me saying, Patty, I love Jane Eyre and I cannot read it in English. I love Charlotte Bronte. I love Jane Austen and I cannot read them in English. I have a little suggestion for you. This is the actual novel, okay? The actual novel means the real book, the real one, okay? So this is the story. However, I mean, you are gonna love this. This is the story as well. This is Jane Eyre, but it's not the actual novel. What this is, brace yourself, what this is a comic book with Jane Eyre all over it. So it's actually, let me explain it to you. It's not really a comic. So it's kind of disguised as a comic. Disguised. It's pretending to be a comic. It's not really. Because you've got, you know, some of the obvious comic characteristics. You've got the bubbles and everything, the speech bubbles. But the story is happening here. So you've got little bits of text. It's not too much. And it's so easy to understand. We bought this for our daughter Naomi, she's 8. And obviously this is a complicated story for an 8-year-old, and the vocabulary here is brilliant. It's very fancy, very rich vocabulary. She doesn't know all of it, she's only 8. So I read it with her and I was explaining it to her as we were going, and she was obsessed with Jane Eyre after this. She absolutely loved it. Guys, this was not an expensive book. We bought this in Brazil in an actual bookstore. It was not even online. And I think it costs about 40 reals, so it's not bad. The illustrations are very beautiful. It's lovely. So this is a great start. Now, the very good thing is that this seems to be a collection. So you've got lots of other titles that you could get. So here's a list of other titles that you could be interested in. These are all classic novels. If it's not your taste, ignore what I'm saying and let's move on. I'm going to talk to you about something else. There's a book I have been meaning to read for ages, for years, so many years, okay? And I had tried twice before. I tried it once just before I started university. If you don't know, I studied English literature with creative writing in London. So just before university, I tried reading it. I tried a few pages, like 5 pages, and I was like, maybe not. I was too young, not ready for that book. I tried again, I think 3 years ago, and I was just confused. I was so confused by the whole story. The reason why I was confused is that there are too many characters. You don't remember who they are. And there are lots of similar names or even the same name. There's lots of different people called the same thing. Very, very hard to understand. So, do you know what? I sat down this year and I thought, okay, no, I can't do this anymore. I have to get through that book. It was a goal I set for myself. And I decided to research before I started again. So I researched the story. I understood what the story was about, not spoiling anything, just kind of giving me a gist, an idea of the whole theme of the story, the most important thing about it, and the characters. And I found out I was not the only person who was completely confused by the characters. And I came across, I'm not going to show you yet because I haven't told you what the novel is. Anyway, I am reading 100 Years of Solitude by Gabriel Garcia Marquez. And I found this amazing illustrated map of all the characters in the book. So here, this is really fantastic. I'm going to try and leave you the link below. I don't know if I will find it, but I will try, okay? And if I don't, I'm going to leave some instructions as to how I got to this. And it's fantastic because it tells you exactly how the characters are related, so their relationship in the family, and who is married to whom, and the kids. And it's really, really helpful. So now, as it turns out, I'm getting through the book just fine because I have given myself some help. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is to say, sometimes we give up on a book because we're not ready for that book. And that happens a lot. We need to reach a specific literary maturity to be able to face certain works of literature. There's nothing wrong with that. Make peace with that fact. It's fine. And there's another reason, which is sometimes we're just confused. It's a hard book. And so we can get help. Not all is lost. So now I think I'm on page 130 something. And every time there's a name and I don't remember who that person is, I just take this, take a look. Oh, okay, got it. Keep reading. A lot easier. So these two things that I shared with you today are about things that you can do pre-reading. Pre-reading means before you read a book. So have a look if there's an easier option for you to start with. You read that and then you read the actual novel, and find some external help, which will be much appreciated. But there's something else I want to tell you today, which is about your post-reading, what you do when you finish a book. And this comes with an amazing recommendation for a book I read this year, which I loved. It's called My Name is Lucy Barton. It's a book by an American author. It's fiction, so not real, but it feels like you're reading a memoir. So it feels like it's so real. It's a short novel, I think 200 pages, so easy to get through. Very simple sentences, so you guys are going to love this book. And at the same time, it gives you lots to think about. It's quite psychological, but in a very simple way. Finished the book. I think I read it in 2 days. Finished it. Great book. Enjoyed it very much. And then I looked up some interviews with the author, Elizabeth Strout, if I'm not wrong, and watched 2 interviews with her, which were incredibly enlightening, because then she's sharing more about the story and more about Lucy as a character and about her writing process too, which gives you a really cool overview on things that you may have missed from the story. So this is something that I encourage you guys to do when you finish reading something in English, is to then go on and research and look at the author, watch some interviews, get a great idea from where that person was kind of coming from when they were writing, and it gives you a great listening practice, which is what we want all the time, forever, until we die. So do that, let me know how it goes, and I really hope this video has helped you with your pre-reading and your post-reading and just your overall reading. Thank you for watching. Let me know what you're reading down below. See you later.